All right, here we go. After an ice break, we're moving on to the next qualifications round bracket, ABC, where the first matches will be against ER 0.90, which of course plays Aztecs. If you didn't know, ER 0.90 is one of the first versions of the Eagle's Revenge AI, I'm pretty sure. It's scripted by ER back in 2001. And as you can tell, it goes for Eagle Warriors. It's pretty famous around here for AI scripts. And then in blue, we've got Valkyrie Warrior. Valkyrie Warrior, of course, is a script by Electricity, who made Valkyrie. Often goes for a skirmisher rush. And then became Valkyrie Warrior when Esty volunteered to make a couple changes to Valkyrie, the script. And doesn't look like Electricity is around, unfortunately. Just based on the Twitch viewers, which is sad. I wish he could be here to watch the matches. All right, so looking at the maps, blue has this massive hill right on its edge. And that's pretty unfortunate. Blue also has some sheep that it hasn't found yet. And forward gold as well, nestled between some forests. Although Valkyrie does have some back gold that you could get instead, but it probably won't. So overall, I'm not really happy with Blue's map, but it did pick a good spot for a lumber camp, probably the best one available. Now looking at ER's map, the map is pretty open, I would say. The lumber camp, the forest it chose was decent. I don't know if that one's the closest forest or not, but it's about as close as you can get. And then you got the goal also in a forward location. If Valkyrie Warrior can get his skirmisher rush to ER before the Castle Age, that could cause some problems because gold is so important for an Eagle Warrior rush. Alright, so we got blue advancing to the Feudal Age at 24 pop. Blue with just one lumber camp makes sense for a flush, I think. And red still is not up to going up to Feudal Age yet, only has 29 villagers. I think he'll wait for 1 or 2 more villagers before advancing. Blue is taking wheelbarrow, and we see 2 archery ranges going up. And skirmishers are coming out. So it's just a race against time against ER. Alright, and red is almost all the way to the Feudal Age. Meantime, Valkyrie's got 4 skirmishers huddling against the town center, and they're on their way. Let's see if those skirmishers can harass the Red's mining camp. That's probably the soonest target. We'll see if Blue's skirmishers find it. So no, it looks like they found the town center instead. Alright, so they're hitting some gold miners. Retreating away from the town center, but not hitting that gold mine. That's gonna hurt, I'd say. Does Blue know where that mining camp is? Yes, but hasn't. It just needs to move over just a few tiles to the right. Oh, found some. There we go. Blue finally hit the gold miners. But red is already on the way to Castle Age, and red has about 800 gold. So enough gold to have banked up to train Eagle Warriors. And red is only maybe lost. I don't even know if red has lost a villager. And Eagle Warriors are coming out for red. Those are going to clean up the blue skirmishers really fast. Because one thing about ER is it goes with a 4 barracks Eagle Warriors rush, which is really aggressive. Later on, ER changed it to only do a 3 barracks. Alright, now Valkyrie is training some militia to go against Eagle Warriors. Finally got man-at-arms here. Militia don't have a bonus against Eagle Warriors at all. Man-at-arms have a small one. But that's about as best as you can do in the feudal age. So what Valkyrie Warrior really needs to do right now is advance to the Castle Age. And right now it's not even close. Not even a mining camp at this point. They're just walking all the way back to the town center. You can tell from the score, right now it's not looking great for blue. But blue is still on the aggressive. I don't know what blue's best move is at this point. Do you try to keep on making soldiers and just overwhelm red, or do you try and military anymore and go to the Castle Age? I think at this point there's no options for blue. Red's already in blue's town and killing off villagers. And the Eagle Warriors are continuing to stream in here. So yeah, you can tell that ER is a pretty good AI, even though it's almost 20 years old. So ER did build a siege workshop a long time ago, but I'm not seeing the AI use the siege workshop. No rams coming out. Now it's going down for blue. And Eagle Warrior is hitting the gold mine, which finally has a mining camp. Alright, and blue is safe for the time being, but it's not going to last long. Alright, ER has got up to 25 Eagle Warriors again, now almost 30. And I think this last attack will be it. Alright, so maybe not it, actually. I think those man-at-arms did some damage, same with the town center. I think part of the problem is that ER doesn't continuously send in the Eagle Warriors. Instead, they come in and just in actual waves. Send them all in at once, wait, then send them in again, wait. I think if ER continued to send them in one by one, as long as it maintained enough population, and Valkyrie Warrior could have been taken out a bit earlier. Here we go, you got another attack coming, and this time only 1 or 2 man-at-arms. Right now ER has twice as many villagers. And pretty much all of blue's units are now in the town center. Or at least that's what it seems. Right, just town center time. So once this town center goes down, it's probably GG. Killing off all the villagers inside. Valkyrie's down to 9 pop, 7. Town center's down. But we do notice over here in the top, or the west corner, we've got 2 villagers building a town center. Valkyrie Warrior does not give up. But it was game over. It was game over a couple minutes ago. Esty called the game. Alright, so now we'll see game 2 coming up in just a moment. Alright, here we go. So now we got the 4v4. How much Valkyrie Warrior booms up a whole lot. I do remember from watching other games that Valkyrie Warrior does like to train knights as pocket. So that could be a good move if the pockets survive the initial attack. So looking at the players, we know the civilizations for ERs, they're all Aztecs. Big surprise. But for Valkyrie, we've got Aztecs, of course, in blue as the flank, and then gray as the Vikings in one of the pockets. That'll be good for knights. Same with green as the Huns. And then we got teal as the Celts. So, not bad civs there at all. Blue does, going back to blue again, blue does have a forward gold mine, but it won't be very important because they go for skirmishers only at the beginning of the game. And then let's switch over to yellow. So yellow has some forward gold this time around. I could very easily see blue deciding to hit that gold. It's almost impossible not to hit it. So we'll see if blue can delay yellow long enough. Then just have a glance at that purple. Seems to have a pretty average town. Lumber camp is okay, but not the best spot, but it works. Orange has a not so great lumber camp position. That'd be pretty vulnerable if it was a pocket. And then lastly, red, which is the flank. The gold is in a good position, so when teal hits it, unless it's lucky, it might not find the gold. And the lumber cap is happens to be in a nice spot, protected. It's a longer walk from the town center, but it's protected. In the meantime, over by Graystown, we have a whole bunch of Eagle Warriors all scouting gray. I don't know what causes that. Sometimes you get all the scouts in one spot. Alright, so blue and teal are up to the feudal age first as pockets, so that's good. They're training up skirmishers as expected. In the meantime, all the ER players are moving up to the feudal age. And yellow is starting to mine gold. Alright, and blue is sending off the skirmishers for the first attack. And I actually don't see that much military from teal. Alright, so blue found a wolf first. And blue did find yellow's mining camp as expected. We'll see if that can delay yellow long enough. Alright, and then now teal is moving towards red. Seems like a pretty big delay. I'm not sure what would have caused that. Alright, looking at yellow. Yellow's on the way to the castle age and has enough gold to train some Eagle Warriors. So we'll see what happens here. Might just have caused a delay, but yellow might still be able to make enough Eagle Warriors to move on. There might have been some good market trading. I don't know. Because yellow seems to still have plenty of gold. Alright, and red is moving on to attack. Same with orange and purple. And yellow's also training some Eagle Warriors as well to kill off the blue skirmishers. And it looks like all of them are just targeting blue. Meantime, teal, let's look back at teal's attack on red. They're just sending soldiers into their death, unfortunately. Red's Eagle Warriors are just right there. Alright, we got lots of Eagle Warriors surrounding blue's town center. So I think what we're watching for now is for the Valkyrie pockets to be able to boom up and make some knights. Both of them are in the castle age, so that is good. They've got about half a dozen knights each. Let's see how much those knights are able to do against the Eagle Warriors. So the knights might help, but I think they're just too few knights. Alright, so blue is basically dead, but I don't think that ER will retarget until blue is all the way dead. Not sure. Well, speaking of that, orange is retargeting. Let's see, is orange retargeting gray or just marching through? Okay, yep. Orange is in gray's town and killing off the knights there. And it looks like gray's town will look like blue's pretty soon. We've got yellow attacking teal. Teal's in the feudal age, but protected by knights from green. The green knights don't have bloodlines yet. They do have scale barding, but that's it. No forging. Alright, so the attack against teal was beaten off. But in the meantime, blue is basically gone. Blue does have a town center, but it's not in the best spot. I don't know if you guys see where this town center is. But hey, blue's hunting a boar with one of its two villagers. Alright, so looking at gray's town, we've got a bunch of purple Eagle Warriors in the town. And now teal's getting hit really hard. Got lots of green knights, thankfully. And they're doing a pretty good defense here. But it's just a whole lot of Eagle Warriors. Teal only has about 20 pop right now. And it looks like green's knights are just not enough. They're being overwhelmed by all of the orange Eagle Warriors. And looking back at Yellow's town, it looks like Purple's deciding to team up even more on Teal instead. And we've got a ram from Red. It's the first ram from ER we've seen so far today. I think that's so far the only non-Eagle Warrior soldier that we've seen from ER so far. Alright, so Blue's gone. And Teal will follow soon here. Ray was beaten up, but it's not gone yet, but it will be soon. And Green is the only one that's really alive at this point. Green is doing a lot of trading with Gray. Unfortunately, a lot of those trade cards are going to die. Alright, Teal is down. I realize if you're Valkyrie, I'm just telling about how much Valkyrie is suffering right now, so sorry Valkyrie if you're watching. But this is just a lot of damage being done. Alright, so Green is defending for the time being, but Purple is joining in the attack, while Red is still coming in and targeting Green's castles on the outside. Okay, now they're making their way towards Green's town. But Purple already defeated most of Green's knights. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of orange here, just purple and red. And one thing about Valkyrie is that it was able to weaken yellow. We've hardly seen yellow all game. So it seems like ER might not be able to recover very quickly if weakened. Alright, so one of Green's castles is almost dead near Teal's town. The town center went down. Alright, Green is dead and Gray decided to resign as well. Alright, good game ER. It's just so hard to beat an Eagle Warrior Rush AI if you're starting out with skirmishers. Yeah, looking at the chat, I'm seeing Eagle Warriors, at least in the base game. I can't remember if this was changed with Willow Kingdoms and the addition of the Eagle Scout, but I'm pretty sure the base Eagle Warrior doesn't have a bonus against cavalry, while the Elite Eagle Warrior did. Which is why early Imperial Age the Elite Eagle Warrior is so hard to counter. But I bet that the talking about Willow Kingdoms and DE, I bet the Eagle Scout didn't have a bonus, but I bet the Castle Age Eagle Warrior and then the Elite Eagle Warrior have a bonus. I'd have to check. But anyway, good game, and we'll be doing the 2v2 in just a moment. And here we go. We've got Aztecs and Byzantines for Valkyrie. And Byzantines are obviously going to be a strong pick for Valkyrie because he goes for skirmishers. It'd be better, I think, to have an eco bonus that applied in the Dark Age, but getting cheaper skirmishers always helps. So let's see. Let's look at ER first. Yellow has gold in a perfect cross shape, which should be pretty vulnerable to an attack from green if green decides to find it. But green could find the mill instead, depending on where it goes. So we'll see what happens there, but green will have to be really quick, as we've seen, to do much damage. And now looking at red for ER, the gold is in a good position. The skirmishers probably will not find them. And looking at lumber camps from yellow and red, yellow's lumber camp is in a decent spot. It's on the backwood, so that is good. Red's has some long walking time, but it's very well protected. Meanwhile, let's look at blue here. The blue is a wide open map here. Picked a good spot for its lumber camp. Could have been, if it wanted to go further away, getting into that big nook, crevice in the wood. Going further back might have been even better. Get more surface area around the forest. But otherwise, the map is okay. Got a lot of trees in the back that it can use. And then green, I'd say, is also pretty decent. Green is missing 2 of its sheep. The forest that is directly below the green's town has 2 sheep that look like they haven't been found yet. Hopefully they find them soon. And then green went for the backwood, which is good. All right, and then we got blue to the feudal age. And blue has found red. And we'll see what happens there. So we got wheelbarrow going for blue. Greens to the feudal age with wheelbarrow and double bit axe. And both of the ER players are on their way to the feudal age as well. Alright, yellow's getting plenty of gold collected from their cross gold. Same thing with red. So if blue or green are going to want to do some damage, they're going to need to attack soon. Because I bet both of the ER players are close to going to the Castle Age at this point. Yep, just as I said that, they're researching Castle Age right now. And scale mail armor is going up for the Eagle Warriors. And so now blue is launching the attack. It could be slow enough that red will already have some Eagle Warriors prepared. We'll see. In the meantime, the green still has not attacked either. Alright, green is now attacking. We'll see what happens. Green does have a militia here. Green can research men-at-arms in time. That might be able to do something. Blue has a militia as well. That militia is down, and red already has some Eagle Warriors. And blue did have a skirmisher find red's gold, so that is good. Now looking over at yellow's town. We got skirmishers. They did hit the gold, so that's good. But yellow has some Eagle Warriors out and chasing down skirmishers. But it seems like yellow is deciding to just attack blue instead of defending the town. Must not consider the skirmishers a threat. And red is joining in the attack against blue. And also the green skirmishers were defeated. So I think Valkyrie Warrior lost the chance to get an attack in on ER. Once you let ER get into training all their Eagle Warriors, it's almost always GG. Unless you can outproduce them, which is always hard. Alright, so we got another wave of attackers from yellow onto blue. Meanwhile, green is continuing to attack yellow. Green does have man-at-arms now, which is good. But while yellow is defending the town, red is still continuing to kill off blue villagers. Now it's to the point where the red Eagle Warriors are just attacking the town center. Meanwhile, yellow Eagle Warriors are just waiting for the green soldiers to just swarm in. And then just picking them off one by one. Wonder if yellow will continue an attack pretty soon against green or blue. Alright, looks like they're gonna help out in attacking blue here. Meanwhile, blue's town center is almost gone. I think it's beyond the point of being able to put villagers inside. And the town center is down. And blue is at 3 pop here, so killing off a few more villagers and I think blue will be gone. We'll see if blue tries to rebuild a town center. Seems like Valkyrie does try to do that. We'll see what happens. But not much might happen with just a villager left. Building a mining camp, which is not really necessary at this point. Already have enough wood and stone for a town center. Instead, we're going to do an archery range for blue because that makes sense. It's hard to have good rebuilding rules in an AI. It's one of those small things that you hardly ever have to use, but it can be really handy when you're scripting an AI in team games for it to rebuild, but it just comes into play so few times. But yellow and red still seem to want to just kill off every blue spot on the map. They don't retarget to green. It's probably just the fact that these AIs were made in the days of 1.0C. We've got some long swordsmen from green, so that helps. But in order to win, I think green would have to go to the Imperial Age and get some champions, likely. Or cataphracts. Cataphracts would work. They're Byzantines. But I'm not sure that's within Valkyrie's strategies here, unfortunately. Alright, so we got some yellow Eagle Warriors targeting green's town center now. A knight or two from green, but too few too late, I'd say. We got a ram on Green's town center, and there we go. Valkyrie resigned. All right, good games to ER, 3-0. So, with that, I think. It's all right, Esty. I appreciate the effort. So now I think we're gonna go on and look at Valkyrie Warrior versus the General. See how well my AI fares. It should do well against Valkyrie's skirmishers, we'll see. And then we'll move on to the finale again with the General versus ER. Yeah, so I'm looking at what you're showing in Jalipus. While we're switching over, that makes me curious. You might be right, because a lot of things for the Eagle Warriors are researched on the Castle Age, like the +3 attack.